A golf scandal claim just blew up online, and the accusation is brutal. Fans are saying Scottie Scheffler mocked Rory McIlroy on camera right before the FedEx Cup playoffs, and there's supposedly video proof. This isn't some throwaway rumor. It's a firestorm ripping through professional golf right now, and it's aimed straight at the world's #1 player. One post, two of the biggest names in the sport, and a reputation hanging by a thread. Honestly, when I first saw the clip, it made my stomach turn. Fans pay real money to watch these guys compete, and here's the best golfer alive supposedly trash-talking a friend and rival on camera. That kind of arrogance has no place on the course. But stick with me, because the deeper you dig into this story, the less it's actually about Scheffler's character. It's about who created this accusation, why they created it, and how a few seconds of edited footage nearly destroyed a man's reputation overnight. This is what a misinformation trap looks like from the inside. So let's break down what the video actually shows, who's really behind it, and why the real scandal isn't cheating at all. If you think there's any truth to this claim, tell me in the comments. And if getting the full story matters to you, stick around, because this one gets messy fast. To understand how this exploded, you need to understand the moment it landed in. The FedEx Cup playoffs aren't just another stop on tour. This is the PGA Tour's biggest stage, the finale where an entire season of work either pays off or falls apart. The opener this year was the FedEx St. Jude Championship in Memphis, and the pressure there is unmatched, with a $25 million bonus waiting for whoever wins the whole thing. Scheffler walked in as wild #1, already locked into the top of the standings, meaning that bonus was basically his to lose. Every eye in golf was on him. His swing, his expressions, even his silence was being picked apart online. Then Thursday happened. Scheffler went out and shot a 61, 9 under par, tying the course record at TPC Southwind with 5 straight birdies to open the round. He hit 16 greens. He needed only 24 putts. It was the kind of round that makes the rest of the field look like they're playing a different sport. That performance should have been the only story anyone was talking about. Instead, within hours, it got buried under something completely different, something that had nothing to do with golf and everything to do with grabbing attention. The accusation came from an Instagram account nobody had ever heard of, with barely a few hundred followers and zero history of breaking real news. No verification, no credibility, nothing. And yet the post exploded. It claimed Scheffler had been caught on camera saying something disrespectful to McIlroy, and it came with footage, timestamps, and subtitles that made it look convincing at first glance. To a casual scroller, it looked like a smoking gun. To anyone paying close attention, the cracks were obvious. The audio didn't sync. The subtitles didn't quite match his mouth. But by the time people noticed, it had already spread everywhere. Here's where it gets interesting, because the footage itself was real. It really was from the tournament, and it really did show Scheffler. What wasn't real was the audio. Someone had stripped out the original broadcast sound and replaced it with a fake voiceover designed to sound like him. And the clip wasn't even from the record-setting Thursday round. It was pulled from Sunday, the final round, during a moment that had nothing to do with McIlroy at all. That Sunday, Scheffler was cruising toward the win when disaster struck on the 3rd hole. He hit a gorgeous bunker shot that landed exactly where he wanted, then the ball caught a sprinkle ahead and bounced straight off the green, rolled down a slope, and disappeared into the water. It happened in seconds. Announcers called it some of the worst luck they'd ever seen on tour. Scheffler didn't throw a club or say a word out of anger. He just shook his head, made his bogey, and moved on. That's the moment the fake video actually captured, him reacting to his own bad break, not talking trash to a rival who wasn't even on the course anymore. McIlroy had already finished his round hours earlier. And that silence from McIlroy afterward got twisted into proof by whoever ran the account, when really it was just a guy dealing with his own miserable week, having shot way over par and sitting far down the leaderboard. Why would he waste time denying a conversation that never happened? Meanwhile, Scheffler didn't fall apart after that water ball. He birdied the next 2 holes, built his lead right back up, and closed with an 8-shot victory. His playing partner that Sunday said afterward that even his best round wouldn't have been enough to catch him. That's not the reaction of someone who just watched a rival humiliate a friend. That's someone who watched pure dominance. The exact quote the account attributed to Scheffler was dramatic, cutting, built to make people furious, which is exactly why it worked so well. But there's no second source, no witness, no confirmation from anyone actually there. Think about how many cameras and microphones cover a PGA Tour event. If something like that had really been said, it wouldn't have stayed a secret. It's also worth remembering Scheffler has a track record here. When another player faced cheating accusations last year, Scheffler publicly defended him instead of staying quiet. That's not the profile of someone inventing insults to needle a friend. So here's what actually happened at that tournament. Scottie Scheffler shot a course record, survived one of the worst bounces in recent memory, and still won by 8 shots. That's the real story. Not a fabricated insult, not a manufactured feud, just dominant golf from the best player alive. The account behind the fake clip eventually vanished, its credibility gone the moment people started asking real questions. But here's what actually bothers me. The lie traveled everywhere. The correction barely made a sound. That gap between how fast outrage spreads and how slowly truth catches up, that's the real story worth paying attention to. So next time a clip like this shows up in your feed, ask yourself if you're seeing proof or just a well-edited guest dressed up to look real. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if stories like this matter to you, stick around, because there's more to unpack next time.